It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Play action. Blackwell. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ron Parker. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time. You think back to all the interceptions he threw last week. Here we go. First play of the game, another pick.
And you know that all week long, they spent time breaking down exactly why he threw the interceptions. Was it mechanics, bad reads, not enough study? Sometimes you just think about it way too much, and that leads you to the next one.
Time to refocus. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's complete to Chris Conley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
This is Marshall. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Flipping right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get him the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people would think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chris Jones with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Off the play fake. Blackwell. He's airing it out for Williams. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. Third down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Off play action. Blackwell. And he took that in one-handed. What a grab. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's fourth down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of the game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. They go play action here on first down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there for L.A. 48 yards. A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue
90. Blue 90. 1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Blackwell steps away to his left. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers have taken a first-quarter lead. Sturgis adds the PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But I also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's going to look deep for one. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail. Here we go now. Green.
And here's Marshall. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Caught, Kelsey, left side. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork, we saw a good job. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. They'll run with Marshall. Able to slither by. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Keith Marshall with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs are in for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments. Let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking. Beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Butker now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless. It's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On 1st and 10, Blackwell steps away, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Blackwell. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. Gets around him, and he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. Looking deep downfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working.
319!
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what...
It's caught at the 10. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. Sturgis for the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Now they try the right side here. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Now he'll escape to his right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. He was looking for Watkins that time. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
He's going to, this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, LA! Keenan Allen on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
They have 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Mahomes. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that's caught inside the 30. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will get him 1 closer. Butker now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The play fake. Blackwell. He's airing it out for Williams. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's 1 step in the proper direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Off play action. Blackwell trying to lay one up deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 1:57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. Now a handoff looking right. And some room to maneuver. Finding room at the 30. And a cut to the sideline. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Keith Marshall, 85 yards. And the Chiefs strike quickly here for 6 points. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, here we go. 3-19.
Throwing on first down. Blackwell. He's airing it out for Williams. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some...
Sammy Watkins, he's going to go. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Butker now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Going deep here for Allen. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
Off the play fake. Blackwell. He's going to look for Allen now. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 38. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Allen, the intended receiver. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now here's Mahomes. Looking sideline, and that's caught by Watkins. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Mahomes now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. He was looking for Tyreek Hill that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail.
Now they try the right side here. Down to the 25. Casey Hayward makes the tackle. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first. This now from 42 yards out. And Butker able to put this one through. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Mahomes going to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. Looking downfield for Kelsey. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
Escaping the pressure right. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And some space here. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now a play fake here on first down. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Set. 319. 319.
Off play action. Blackwell. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver there, Allen, and it's third down.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Off the play fake. Blackwell. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Reggie Ragland in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is fielded at the 7. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. but I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail.
They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Flush to his right. He is going to find Hill here. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Left, 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 left.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. They give him a gain of 38.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And they'll run it here. And some room to roam now. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run it in with Marshall. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Keith Marshall punching it in from a yard away. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah. What a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Butker now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Off Play action. Blackwell. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. On the tackle, it was the West Virginia man, Kaiser White. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down, Blackwell. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff looking right. And he's got room. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Now Mahomes. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Corey Legion in there to drop him for a loss on the play. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And the kick by Butker is good. And that will extend the lead out to 24. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Chargers. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
3-19!
On 1st down, Blackwell. And now here's another interception. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now they try the right side here. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Looking to throw is Mahomes. This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. It doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Well, what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. Mahomes going to throw it here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. They were looking for Marshall that time. 3rd down here.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. but you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And Butker able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down here.
And he's taken down. A Chief sack. D. Ford coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Here we go now.
Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. On the stop, Breeland Speaks.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Chargers on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Pretty sizable gain of 8 that time on the keeper, but now it's 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height.